Hello dear friends, hope we are already live. Yes, today I'm planning to try to cover round 7 of Asrian Memorial, also round 4 in Sardinia Open, also today close to evening 7 p.m. Yerevan time. I do have early title Tuesday and also a lot of other stuff. So let's slowly start. Just a couple of technical seconds. I think we are alive. Yes. So we will start with some puzzles, just slightly improving or not even improving our calculation skills, and then we will switch to checking round 4 in Sardinia Open tournament and also round 7 in Asrian Memorial, since Asrian Memorial starts 3 p.m. Local time, Yerevan time, so it means still we are having time, and round 4 in Sardinia has already started. So let me just figure out, is everything working? Probably yes. But why? Yes, I think it is. Yes, this is the first position. As I'm also not familiar with the position, so I don't know anything. So we will together try to solve it. So yes, actually I do recommend everyone this website, Chess Tempo. Yes, I think for in my laptop somehow it's in Russian language, but you can adjust it and you can have it in English. Yes, I tried to adjust and change it to the international, let's say, because our YouTube channel is in English, but somehow I had difficulties to do that. Yes. But as I also read and understand Russian, it's not a problem for me. But for those who doesn't read and speak Russian, anyway, website is really working for in English language as well. So okay, let's already start. Yes, g takes f and t takes f. What is happening? What's the idea? Why I'm not allowed to take with the e pawn or g pawn? Like let's say I'm taking with the g pawn. Yes, with the knight you don't have any moves. Yes, but you do have moves attacking my bishop. For example, you don't have rook a3 really. Yes, but you do have queen d3, which is probably the only move. Yes, there I have queen g4, and I can, yes, queen g4 does not really work because of rook a3, so I should take f takes g, you take queen f3, and there I have queen h2, king f1, and probably that's all, I guess, what I have, because king f1, what else can I do? Yes, g2 isn't working, g takes f is the only move. but you know, position remains like queen f5 check is coming probably. Yes, e takes f looks for the time being stronger. Continuation. Yes, you don't have rook a3, I just take f takes g and game is over because queen h2 check is coming if you take my bishop. But the problem can, yes, if you go queen d3, yes, you don't have e5 because I just take f takes g, queen d3, bishop e4 is there. You go queen d3, let's say I do take your knight, you go queen f3, and how do I finish there? How do I win? Yes, I think I go, no, but it does not work really. Yes, I wanted to play queen h2, king f1, and doesn't matter. Whenever I'm taking this a1 rook, then it's probably some perpetual. You go queen f5, yes, queen f5 probably makes a draw. Yeah, should I take g takes f, but you have queen d3. Yes, queen g4 I don't like at all. Bishop g4, knight f5 we will jump. F takes g, queen f3, and there my bishop is completely closed. G7 bishop. So e takes f does look very promising. Queen d3. Yes, g4 ideas are not working. I can take rook on a1, but I can do it also after f takes g. So it does not make sense. So f takes g, queen f3, and here I should find some good ideas to just finish the game. Yes, I have queen h2, king f1, g2. The point is, if you take queen g2, then I trade the queens and take on a1, but you do go king e2, and it is not obvious how to play there. Because if I take on a1, I assume it's perpetual. I don't see it clearly, like, but it does look drawish. Yes, g takes f anyway. You can go king g2 or king f1, king g2, let's say. So what should I do? What else do I have? E takes f, you go queen d3. You do threaten a lot of things. So f takes g, queen f3. Bishop d4 is not working. G takes f is there. Yes, queen h2 does look tempting to play. King f1. g2, king e2. And which move I'm kind of missing? Probably I'm missing something, no? Yes, probably I'm missing something, like queen h2, king f1, g2, king e2. Maybe I should start taking this a1. Yes, maybe I should take, but okay, there. I doubt there I can. Okay, e takes f, queen d3. Yes, f takes g. I should play queen f3. Queen h2. King f1. But queen h3. Yes, I have queen h3. Yeah, yes, I just. Yes, I was. Yes, I was completely blind. So the idea is e takes f, queen d3, f takes g, queen f3, queen h2, king f1, queen h3. I just cover f5 square, and then I take on a1, and but no, queen f7, queen g6 is coming. Oh, wait, queen h3. Just go king e2. Yes, king e2 is the only move actually. Bishop a1, queen f7. Yes, and it's perpetual. Bishop g7, queen g6. Queen g6 and then queen e8. But maybe. Yes, actually, surprisingly, queen f7, I go bishop g7, queen g6, I go king g8. Yes, queen e8, I go bishop f8, queen g6, king h8. So it's a very long forcing line, but I think I managed to calculate. So e takes f, queen d3, f takes g, queen f3, queen h2, king f1, queen h3. So doesn't really matter where do you go, but it's better for you to have your king on e2. So I take on a1. So queen f7 is the only move, I go bishop g7. Queen g6 is the only move, I go king g8. Queen e8 is the only move, I go bishop f8. Queen g6 is the only move, I go king h8. Queen f6 is the only move, I go bishop g7. Queen d8 is the only move. But wait, queen d8 is the only move, but this is already winning. I do go king h7, and probably you don't have any checks. So let's go. Yes, yes, check was the move. Wow. You know, 8, and even you should see this. You should, yes, 9 move forcing line. So whenever any of you will be asked how many moves ahead you can see, yes, this is like very obvious example where Grandmaster calculated 9 moves ahead. It's not anything, but yes, it's a very forcing line. White didn't have anything else except playing what we have calculated. So wow, hello Reza Mahdavi, hello. Yes, you saw it. So the next one. So what is happening? So position looks complicated. We are 2 pawns down, but we are very active. So what's the move? Should we play queen d1 with the rook f3 idea? But no, it does not make sense. e6. Queen a1, king b3, queen d1, but it's like king a2, queen d5. Wow, it is complicated. So hello to our chat. So what moves do we have? We have queen a1, we have rook c1. Yes, what else do we have? Rook c1 I like very much, you know, very confusing move and unpleasant one for opponent. Like, what can white do after rook c1? Rook g7 isn't probably working. Yes, it does not work. You have queen somewhere, but I have check, king b3. Oh, very confusing position. So let's try to see. Rook d1, rook c1, queen a1, and I don't see anything better except these three moves. Okay, queen a1, king b3. I have queen d1 check, and yes, I have c4 check, but I'm not sure. Like, if opponent just plays king b4, what do I achieve? So queen a1, king b3, queen d1, queen c2 does not work, king a3 does not work, king a2 and king c4. King a2 is there, but king a2 is like very like queen d5, you should go b3. Yes, but you will just play b3, and what do I want? I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. So what's the idea? So we already spent almost 3 minutes and no any ideas. Like rook c1, but my rook is not well placed on c1 actually. You have like queen d2, for example. Good move, I guess, queen d2. Rook c2, there is queen d3. Queen a1, there is king b3. c4, there is king b4. Hello, hello, hello to everyone. Hmm. We are trying to improve our calculation skills. It's not easy at all, you know, it's not easy at all. Yeah, it's rook d1, but the problem is it is very interesting move, no doubts. But you know, maybe it's the strongest continuation. Like, I didn't like rook d1 because of e6, but maybe I have rook d3. Maybe I have rook d1, e6, rook d3, rook g7, king h8, and surprisingly, nothing is working for white. Yes. Rook d1. Wow. Wow, actually, I don't see how can white play, because simply not much moves with the queen, like queen c4 is checkmate, queen b3 I just win your queen, b3 I just go rook d3 and you can simply resign, either it's a checkmate or you lose your queen. Yes, rook d1, e6, rook d3 is very hard to see that rook g7, king h8, and checks are there, discovered checks are there, but none of them works. So rook d1, and here let me try something like queen takes c5. No, but queen c5 is such a ugly move. Like rook d3, king b4, queen b2, king a5, and we don't have anything obvious even there. So rook d1, queen takes c5. Should I continue queen a1, king b4, queen b2? But what's the... So rook d1, queen c5, I don't see what can I do. I don't see what can I do. Rook d3 looks so interesting, but you just play king b4. Queen b4 looks very tempting. Otherwise, what else? Queen e1, but queen e1, king b5. So queen b2, but king a5, and king seems very safe on. Ah, and there maybe some queen b3 crazy move. Wow, wow. Hello, hello, hello to everyone. Nice to have you, all of you here. And yes, we are trying to improve our calculation skills, and yes. Rook d1. Now we are calculating with the idea rook d3. So the idea should be, yes, queen c5, I go rook d3, you go king b4, I take the pawn, you go king a5, and there it does look like white is already escaped. White already escaped, but surprisingly we have queen b3. Though I'm not sure at all, you know. Like queen b3, okay, you don't have many moves with the pawns, with the king as well, with the rook also, because rook g7, king g7, I think I always have queen f7 back. So with the queen, what do you have with the queen? So you don't have much actually. Queen b5, rook d5, queen e7 does not work. Yes, queen b5, queen c6, you know, it's the solution probably. Let's go for it. Oh no. What did we blunder actually? Oh, actually it makes a lot of sense to go rook c1. You know? It does make... And here of course rook d1. And check. Yes, I saw rook c1, queen d2 even. Because queen b3... But this is such a ugly move. Queen e3, queen f3, and somehow I didn't. Okay. My fault. Wow. Another crazy position. What is happening? Another crazy position. How should we continue? Like bishop e6 is not working. I can take with the bishop on f5. I can take also with the knight on f5. But let's see. Yes. Yes, I will try to do my calculations loudly so you can figure out how usually grandmasters are making their calculations. So obviously queen is hanging, and we do have a couple of moves like queen g6, queen h5, queen f4, queen g3. Yes. And a couple of sacrifices, like we can sacrifice the queen, but somehow I don't think any queen sacrifice can work here because we have very less attacking forces. So I also don't like queen d1, so we can focus on some more working moves. Let's say so knight takes f5. What's the idea? Knight takes f5. Yes, you should take with the bishop. I take with the bishop, but first of all you can take with the queen. Yes, let's say I take e takes d, you have queen g4, h takes g. Yes, but knight f5, bishop takes f5, bishop takes f5, you can even take knight takes f5. And I'm not sure at all what I achieved. I'm not sure at all what I achieved. Okay, but it's not a big problem. We have some other moves. We have something like queen g6. Yes, initially I didn't like any move except taking on f5, but you know, queen g6 might be a very interesting move. The idea is you cannot really move your knight, and rook d7 ideas are not really working for you because there is queen e8, queen d7 at least. Yes, you can take my knight on h4, which is probably the strongest move, but I will just go e takes d. I just take e takes d, my king is very safe, and I'm threatening like anything, like many ideas. d5, d takes c, bishop e6, and so on. So queen g6, what's the idea? You don't have any moves with the knight. Okay, this we realize. Like rook d7, queen e8 comes, and yes, bishop f8 or king h7, I just take the bishop, and I like my position more or less. Yes, queen g6, the move should be f4, of course. Queen g6, f4 is the move to play. Yes, f4 is the move to play. And now what can I do? It's not easy to understand. I can go bishop e6, which forces you to play king h8. Yes, and there, can I start taking your pieces? Like, but bishop g6, knight g6. Yes, yes, bishop g6, knight g6, queen g6 back works. So I have queen f7, which is an interesting move to play. Although, like, what's the difference between playing queen g3 and queen g6? Queen g3, I don't like at all. if opponent, let's say, takes on d7, we should go e takes d, and let's say the worst, bishop takes h4, queen takes h4, yeah, c takes d, yes, like it's around equal position. So queen g3, I don't like. Queen f4, of course, rook d7 comes and we lose because of bishop d6 ideas. So queen g6 most likely is the strongest move to play. Also we have queen h5, but it's also hard to understand why exactly queen h5. Because after queen h5, opponent does not have f4, but does have bishop d6. Yes, we have f4. But what is happening after f4? Like, it is very... Yes, I can also take bishop h4, but you will go e takes d. Yes, it is complicated to say what is happening. I like queen g6, and if f4, bishop e6, you go king h8, and I go queen f7. But again, I'm not sure at all. I'm not sure at all, honestly speaking. Yes, between queen h5 and queen g6 I'm deciding. Yes, bishop d4 does not really work. Any other move does not work. Bishop f5, you will just go bishop takes f5, and yes, what should I do? Knight f5, even after queen f5, opponent has very decent chances to make a draw. But just knight takes f5, you should take rook d8, bishop takes d8, and yes, but there also e4 is coming, no? But e4, bishop c7. It's confusing. So knight takes f5. Yes, I do have it. Knight f5, bishop f5. You can resign. Knight f5, bishop f5, which forces me to take bishop f5. Let's say queen f5, e takes d. Queen, this bishop d6 I have, but queen g4, h takes g I will take. And yes, there at least you are pawn up. Yes, c4 I have c takes d, I can take, you will take the rook d4. I have bishop f6, which forces you to go d5. Bishop c3, b takes c. So knight f5, bishop takes f5. Knight f5, bishop takes f5, bishop takes f5, knight takes f5. Yes, but maybe this is working for me. I have rook d8, bishop d8. I do have e4. Yes, you don't really go knight d4 because knight d4 I have some queen c8, but you will go bishop bishop c7, which forces me to play g3, and yes, you can take bishop g3. Yes, bishop g3, and here honestly I wanted to go king g2, but this is probably too much. Like, why should I be better after knight d4? Yes, knight d4, just you are having great position. No, queen, that's why I don't want to take on f5. I want to go either queen g6 or queen h5. Honestly, it's hard to understand the differences between queen h5 and queen g6. I like queen h5. Yes, queen h5 you have. Yes, you can go. Let's say queen h5. Of course, knight moves aren't working because of bishop e6, and checkmate will follow. Bishop d6 f4, I'm not much afraid there as well. Queen h5, bishop h4 you can take, which forces me to take the knight on d4. And now I'm threatening some bishop e6, some pleasant check. Yes, you should, you can try bishop g5 for example. Yes, bishop g5 is quite an annoying move, because if I push d5 or d takes c, you just take my rook. Bishop e6, you will just go king h7, I guess. No, queen g6 probably is the strongest. f4, bishop e6, king h8, queen f7. And there, f takes c you have, f3 I don't think. Yes, your bishop is hanging. Yes, you can take bishop h4, but my idea is to take e takes d. Wow. It doesn't look... it does not look... Yes. Seems Reza Mahdavi is not here anymore. I know him. Yes, but queen g6, f4. Maybe after f4 I can do something else, like going back queen g4. No, but going back queen g4, f takes c. But bishop e6, king h8, queen f7. Yes, let's say I just take your knight on h4, which forces you to go e takes d, but like queen f1, and you can maybe resign already. Yes, you have another idea which can be interesting, like bishop takes d4. Oh no, wait. So queen g6, f4, bishop e6, king h8, queen f7. Here f3 is not working, f takes c isn't working. Yes, bishop d6 I'm not afraid because I will take the knight and then f3, g3. Yes, bishop h4, and here I want to go rook takes d4. C takes the bishop d4, and now either it's a checkmate or you should go bishop g3, f takes g, king g3, and it's winning. Wow. Queen g6, dear friends. Maybe I'm wrong, and probably I'm wrong, but let's go. Oh, I was thinking about f4, so here our idea was to go queen e8, and I think we should go queen e8, no? Like e takes d? No, but wait, e takes d, what if bishop d6? No, e takes d, bishop d6, we can resign already. g3, queen h1 is coming. So we should just go check and take the rook. Yes, and here again we should take it. Yes, and this is important. Either we should take with the pawn or with the rook. Still, it's not obvious because e takes d. Opponent does have queen f1, bishop g5 does have. No, I would like to take with the rook. Like rook takes d4 looks very interesting. Because you don't have queen f1. I think it's rook d4 actually. Yes. So rook d4 because queen f1 attacking g2 always. I have even queen g7, king g7, rook d1, rook f1. I can take rook e4. So if you go bishop f4, then there I have rook d1 and game is over. C takes the bishop d4, game is again over because you cannot really protect your g7 square, and king g6, queen g7, king h5, g4 is coming, and rook d4, what else do you want? And if I take e takes d, you just go bishop g5. My rook is hanging, I don't have any move with the rook, bishop f4 is coming, so d5, d takes c isn't working, and after bishop f4 is a checkmate idea. Yes, rook d4, it was important. And the line still goes, bishop c6, queen. Queen f7. Yes. Okay, one more. Wow. This reminds me game of Haik Martirosyan against Emre Can. Last round of Sharjah Masters. So what is this? Yes. Of course, if we trade one pair of rooks, then endgame is completely drawish. But here we are. But knight d2, what is happening if I go knight d2? Because king c3, king d3, there is king c3, rook b3, king d3, but you have king d3. You have king d3. You could also go king d4, but it's not much. Like king d3 you will play. I see. And rook b3, rook c3. How can I pose more problems? Yes, now I'm also kind of forced, but probably not really. I was thinking that black is threatening rook f6, but I do have king e4 always. And after is not hanging because rook c5 is a checkmate. So knight d2 looks like very logical move. What else? I have king e4, but yes, you will just go. Yes, I cannot really move my e-rook, except going maybe rook f5, but even maybe rook f5 is not. So knight d2, king d3. Not easy at all. Not easy at all. King e4 is quite annoying move for the opponent. I'm threatening knight d2, but I think the only move is king c3, and opponent will go king c3. Yes, but I found some ideas. King e4. Now, okay, I'm threatening knight d2, king c3, rook b3. So h5 isn't really working. Rook h1. You do have rook h1. Yes, you can actually go rook h1 if you really want. You can go, because if king c3, then king d5 probably wins. Because king d5 I'm attacking the rook, and doesn't matter really where do you go with the rook. Rook e3 comes, king c2, knight d4 comes. So king e4, rook h1 might be the only move, but it's a good sign for us, kind of. It's a good sign for us, but how to exploit, how to get more than. Yes, it is very hard to get anything more. Yes, like knight d2, king c3. Yes, it is confusing. King e4, rook h1, and how to continue there. Knight d2, king c3, knight b1, king c2. Mhm. Yes. 6 minutes are gone, but we don't see anything yet. Yes, dear viewers, any ideas? Yes, because I don't see it. I don't see. Though I'm trying my best, but I don't see. What should I do? What else? King g4 I was trying to make work, but rook h1 simply. Yes, king e4, rook h1, knight d2, king c3, knight b1, but king c2, let's say, knight a3, king c3. Ah, maybe, you know. But no, it's not. The idea is not working. Hmm? Is this? This? No, it's not easy at all. It's not easy at all. What to do? What to do, dear friends? What to do? What to do, dear friends? Like how to play? King g4, rook h1. Even I'm considering knight d2, king d3, king g4, but there is just rook h1. King e4 was almost working, but rook h1 is there. And no. Ah, yes. Not easy. Yes, already 10 minutes. No, but we should solve it. We should solve it, and then we will switch to something else. But we should solve it first. Yes, please, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Any questions? Let me also... Only one winning way. The rest is draw. Knight d2, king d3, rook b3, rook c3, rook c3, king c3, rook b3, rook c3, rook d5 is nothing. Yes, it's not probably working. So knight d2, knight d4 I have, it's complicated, but it does not work. Yes, it's not really working. You know, I completely forgot. Of course, but not. Yes, I completely forgot about such opportunity, like going rook d5, which is interesting. Yes, I'm threatening knight e5. You don't have rook f6 because king e4 is coming. And but the problem is being rook d5, king c3 would just go. And what do I achieve there? I can jump, okay, but you will just go back. Yes, just to free the square for the knight, but it does not really work. It does not really work. King e4, rook h1. I don't see. Yes, we need some help. Dear viewers, but not a machine help. If any of you can solve it. Yes, because I can switch on engines and see what's the winning way, but we don't need that. We are here just to chill. Yes, and to cover some tournaments. Okay, let's see. But our chat is not active. That's not good. So it's so confusing. Like knight d2, king d3, knight b3, but why do I need my knight there? Rook b3, rook c3. Any ideas? Like rook c3, king c3. The other rook is almost trapped. Like knight f3, but rook h1. He just goes rook h1 and his rook is safe. There in the corner. Yes, the other idea can be like if somehow we trade one pair of rooks and then we go rook e1, this rook is in huge trouble. Though anyway h5 is coming and won't be very easy to... I found, I guess, maybe rook d5. So let me try rook d5. You go king c3 because the rest is not good for you. King c3. Yes, and here what do I want? I have king g4, but no one really cares about king g4. I go rook c5, rook c5, rook c5. It does look stupid, but your rook is almost trapped. But it is not, king goes anywhere and rook c1, h5, and how I'm going to trap this rook on h3. I do have rook. But h5, h4 is just coming, no? No, it does not make sense. Okay, got it. Slowly but surely. Maybe not surely. What to do? What to do? What to do? What to do? Yes, I even noticed. Why we are not playing king e4? Yes, the reason is rook h1. The reason is rook h1. Okay, the reason is rook h1. This we got. Yes, but king e4, rook h1, and let me play rook e to d5. Let me play rook e to d5. And yes, I do have threat of knight e5, which is quite unpleasant check actually. What can you do? The king e4, this rook d5. Rook f6, g6 ideas aren't working. Rook c7, rook c8 you have. King c3 you probably don't have. No, you can go king c3. And maybe you should go king c3. Yes, you should, I guess, go. Though it's still rook d3, king c4, and you know, like I can move my rook, and knight e5 is always there. Like rook b2, for example. So king e4, this rook d5, rook goes back, and how do I want to checkmate there, or pose some? Ah, yes, Jen. So king e4, rook h1. Why rook h1 is the only move? Yes, good question. Ah, yes, of course, because I'm threatening knight d2, king c3, king d5. Yes, if you move the rook, then rook e to c5 is a checkmate. So rook goes there, knight d2, rook b3, I'm winning your rook. So rook h1, I just go... Yes, rook h1 is the strongest actually. I go rook d5. Yes, now rook e6 is not working, I'm sure. f6, g6 as well. King c3 is there, but king c3 is very risky move. Rook d3, king c4, I will move the other rook, and knight e5 is coming, and you don't have any checks. So you have them, but you have them. No, you don't. You don't. You don't. Yes, you don't. So, king e4, rook h1, rook d5. So the important line is if you go with the rook, so knight d2, knight b1. Yes, doesn't matter, king c4 or king c2 check, and then rook d2 checkmate. It's king e4. Yes, and king d5. King d5 finishes the game. Rook f3, king c6, otherwise king e3. Rook e3. Wow, we managed. We managed, dear friends. But of course here the hardest move is after rook h1. Because it took 19 minutes, but I realized and I noticed king c3, king d5 quite early, but I was suffering with rook h1 idea. Yes, rook h1, then you go rook e5 to d5. Yes. Okay. It's so Oh, many interesting games in Sardinia Open. Yes, I think they have a double round probably today. So Barat with the white pieces drew his game in round 4 against Alan Pichot, or maybe I'm pronouncing it not correctly, Alan Pichot. Yes, and now Jules Mussar is playing against Viktor Michalewski. Yes, white is definitely better. White does have some chances to win, but it's not easy at all. So let's see how did Yair Parkhov beat Niklas Huschenbeth. Yes, known line. Yes, seems Yair knew something. Yes, at least Niklas, he is also aware of. Yes, bishop b7, bishop takes, king h1. Yes, so far very interesting fight. Yes, black does not have any problems. White as well. 97. What's Niklas's idea going 97? He wants to go knight f5. He could play just h6 and wait, and he does not have much problems. Yes, just rook fd8, h6 maybe. Yes, attacking a6. Still, black does quite fine. But where Niklas went wrong? He does not have... here. You know, here. Yes, he made a very logical move, which is h5 to stop h4, h5 ideas. Yes, he should have gone for knight b6, attacking the bishop on c4, and if bishop goes b5, queen d5, queen e3. Why rook c3 is not there? Yes, probably some queen f4, or maybe queen g5 with the queen f6 ideas. And here g4. And in time trouble it was much easier to play with the white. So bishop h6, h5, g5, but he went this h5. Takes. Yes, rook e5 would have been even stronger. Knight goes f6, queen g3, and then h takes g comes. Yes, h6, queen f6 ideas are very unpleasant. Rook d6. Yes, good game. Yes, also Niklas played quite well, and he could maybe stand instead of moving the knight e7, but he maybe didn't like his position, or he wanted to win the game. Let's see how is Jules Mussar doing. Let's accept. Yes, e4, Roy Lopez, and another risky line by Mr. Viktor Michalewski. So knight takes bishop b7, short castle d6, d4, e takes d, queen d4, knight d7. Yes, bishop f4 would have been maybe slightly better. I mean, some age for white. Bishop f4, rook a1, so knight d4 takes short castle, queen d3, c5. Bishop f6, white is definitely better. Yes, bishop e5 and then f3. Yes, white is doing better. Black is defending quite well. Yes, and they got Yes, rook c to e8 and black almost equalize the position. Yes, bishop is hanging. Yes, attacking the pawn on g2, protecting it. Yes, they will definitely play some more moves. We will check. We'll check. Yes, Vladimir Fedoseev won his game with the black pieces against Ethan Rosen. Wow. Wow. Already this something very dubious. And here and f5. Knight f6. Insane. Yes, you know, a3 you should play and then be knight c3 or h4. So knight c3 this, knight f3. Takes. And position is complicated. White is up a pawn. No, white is yes, already after bishop f5, but takes knight d4, takes, and black does not have any problem despite being pawn down along light diagonal and squares. White has some issues. Yes, rook e3 is coming. Yes, slowly attacking the pawn on c4. Yes, such a classy position. Very good knight. Bad structure for the white. And it's a torture. It's a torture for Ethan. It's a torture, unfortunately, for Ethan. Yes. Maneuvering knight to g6 and then probably somewhere hoping to jump. Yes. Crazy game by Fedoseev, and here, you know, knight c3 was not precise because engine says white does not need bishop on b4, so it's better to just move it away and then develop the knight on c3. Otherwise, Ethan played like very healthy moves, developing the pieces, and he decided to take the pawn. Otherwise, like why he moved his king to f1, but here surprisingly already black is fine. Yes, even here h4 he could continue. Yes, seems like Sana Sugirov is in huge trouble against Paul Velten. Yes, I know both of them. I played both of them. Yes, bishop d7, bishop d3 is another option. Bishop e2 is also possible. Yes, this short castle takes knight f5, knight c3, a6, king h1, preparing some g4 ideas. So rook c8, rook b1, bishop e7, g4, knight h4 takes, f4, bishop e7, bishop e3, knight a5. Some knight c4 ideas are there. Yes, rook f3, knight c4, bishop c1, so f5, knight c4 takes, rook takes c4, not even d takes c, because maybe it allows some d5 ideas. No, not really d5, but just f6, g takes f, e takes f. Queen f3, not really threatening f takes c, I guess, but Queen is well placed on f3. And king d8. Classy move. King goes to the other side of the board, and white king will remain on h1 very exposed. King d7. Rook f8, stopping all kind of knight e6 ideas. Queen b5. Attacking the pawn on g7, and rook f7 came. In a complicated position, Sugirov went for rook f7 and what? Rook f8. So black had rook g to f8, and if rook e6, rook e7, king d8 probably is there. So yes, the problem is rook e7. I just go king d8 and rook f1 is coming. So queen f3, king b8, and it turns out that exchange is more important than pawn on e5 with the minor piece. So e6, g5, king a8. He did not see rook c2 move here. No, with a huge respect to Paul, but don't you think rook c2 is easy to see? Like rook c2, bishop d2, bishop f2 does not work, queen e8, queen h8. Yes, we will see. But Sugirov is in huge trouble. Sugirov is in huge trouble, unfortunately for him. Yeah, somehow Maxime Lagarde couldn't really get anything against Ramazan Jalmakhanov. Yes, d6. Rook e1. Yes, c3 is a very healthy move to go. Maybe he does want to go. No, c3 I guess works more or less. Bishop g4. Bringing the knight, bishop g6. King h1. Yes, here he could even go knight b6, bishop g5. And Maxime offered the draw, which was accepted by let's see, what are we having here? Francesco Sonis. Yes, the idea was to go e5, so d4, bishop f5, bishop g2, knight b4, attacking the pawn, knight a3, 6. Yes, this is known line, knight e1. Yes, I think c4 is also possible, knight c2, c takes d, knight takes a1, d takes c, or even instead of going d takes e4. So knight e1, knight f6, c3, knight c6, knight d2, h6, bishop e7, rook e1, going for e4, a4, a5, b4, bishop b2, wow, f3. Yes, of course, I fully understand the point of f3. White does want to go e4. Yes, bishop d3, very logical move. And now the problem is being like, how do you imagine you can open up your light squared bishop on g2? Okay, you go f4, you go c4, I just go c6. Even b6 he played. Wow. Takes, rook a4, b5, queen b6, knight b7, e5 eventually. Yes, rook b8 takes knight d6. Wow. and white is being slightly better. Yes, he could go d5. G takes bishop h5, he takes bishop d5. But he wanted to go maybe some g5. But yes, eventually e6 is a target, but he traded too many pawns. And black managed to... Yes. I think out of the opening, maybe white got slightly better position, but then f3 was not obvious decision, and black had like even better position, but in the end he got almost lost position. But hopefully for him, game ended in a draw. And let's see how did... yes, I like how Darda plays last couple of tournaments, because he shows just... he is always well prepared, and he has some ideas, and yes, rook e8, I like this move, and Jandos goes for it, and bishop e7 is the move. If you go bishop f8, there is bishop f6, of course. Queen f6, knight c7, and g takes f, c takes d follows, so you are in some trouble. So bishop e7, bishop e5, knight a6, otherwise c6, knight c7 comes, or even maybe bishop c7, knight e5. Yes, h3, so this is very important move, but it's not the... you know, here it's important to go... I think I played a couple of games, like this is the ideas, like queen c2, like c6, knight c3, knight c5, and here yes, it's always important to go h3 to after knight d7 to have bishop h2. But once my opponent played something like, let's say, bishop e2, I went this, bishop g3, and here this move does not work, because c takes d follows. So you don't have any knight g3, h takes g, queen h7, and here knight takes d5 comes. Yes, if you take knight g3, h takes g, then queen h7 is coming, and d takes d, bishop c7, queen is trapped. Something similar was in my game. So h3. Yes, always knight e4 ideas can be there. But already white maybe got playable position. Not much is happening. Yes, and why not queen takes a4? He didn't like... Why? Yes, black had very decent position. d4. Queen b5. Yes, but Jandos was in time trouble. Yes, f7 is very hard to protect. g6, bishop g6 follows, and yes, here he resigned because of time issue, because of time problem. He slowly lost the game. We are having Maxim Chigaev in a very complicated position, and especially Or Bronstein does not have much time. We are having Luca Moroni won his game against his countryman. Only yeah, so far black is doing fine. Just a couple of more seconds. Sorry for some break. Yes, it does look playable position, and even black is completely fine. Yes, e5. Black is doing fine, and here queen d7 would have been yes. Yes, it's lost for Sana Sugirov. And slowly Maxim Chigaev is getting his chances, maybe to make a draw. And yes, Kirill Shevchenko won his game, Yagis Khan won, Jordan Van Forest won, and yes, we will definitely check many of them. Like yesterday, somewhere I read that Yagis Khan Erdogmuz is the fourth youngest GM in the history of chess, which is something. Yes, Volodar Murzin, like another prodigy. Okay, let's slowly go through the games. Yes, I played Lev Yangelevich. Is from Germany. Very strong player. Yes, Queen A4. He knows theory very well. And I lost a couple of years back. I lost against Lev. And it was Catalan as well. Yes, here the move is to take bishop b4 for sure. Queen c2 is there, no doubts. Maybe this was Lev's prep. Yes, this is some prep. White is pawn down, but white does have good control and some outpost on c5. Yes, for example, here already Gurel didn't know, but I remember some c3 idea as well. c3 knight d4, maybe c2 even. Okay, takes, b takes, short castle. Why he went knight c5? Short castle would have been even stronger. He didn't want to allow bishop a6, but because a5 he allowed. Still, white has enough compensation for the equality, and queen c5 is not precise. Black is already better. Though it's not easy at all to win. Yes. Rook d6, bishop c6, but white is in trouble. And surprisingly, this is just lost. Black is pushing pawn, and king controls c-pawn. And all pawn endgames are completely lost. Otherwise, how do you want to get your rook into the game? Yes. Yes, very good game by Gurel. Takes queen f3. Yes, queen g3. Bishop comes to b3. But Jordan went to d3. Yes, if bishop b3, then e4 is hanging. But initially the idea is to play bishop b3, as I know. So h5. Yes, well played game by Jordan, despite he lost his starting round, and here bishop b5. Wow. Wow, queen c5, rook d4, king e8, rook d8, king c6, king c7, king c8, rook c1. Game over. Really nice, nice game. Well played game by Jordan. And here let's see how did Kirill Shevchenko manage to win his game. Yes, usually rook e1, c3 are the moves. c4 I don't really like. Yes. Takes, d3, short castle, bishop e3, f5. Yes, maybe. Still complicated position, and queen e2 position would remain around equal. Yes, it's not like bishop h6 was a huge mistake, but bishop doesn't do anything on h6. Still, position is around equal. So rook a7, not but white is in huge time trouble. And here in already unpleasant position, but like g4 was huge mistake. Okay, queen e7, queen f4, and probably checkmate follows. Fedosey won, and Krishna Ritvik against Erdogmus. Giri here in his course recommends h6. Knight a6 comes, knight b4. Knight b4 he didn't play. Wow. Exchange sacrifice by Erdogmus. King b2. Queen f5, this queen f6, he takes the queen a1, bishop a3. No, e-pawn is very, very strong. Pawn goes. Yes, white is trying still in Musar Mikhalevsky game. Let's already switch to Karen Asrian Memorial. Let's go to the tournaments, and let's see where are we? Past or current events, and yes, almost. Yes, here we are. Yes, Manuel Petrosyan is facing Levon Babujian. Hovik Karapetyan is playing M. Pranesh. Vahe Danielyan is playing Emin Ohanyan. Vahe Sukyasyan is playing Arsen Davtyan. Stefan Pogosyan is playing Vahan Nalbanzyan. And Eric Chakaryan is playing Zaven Andresyan. David Shahanyan is playing Alberto Atoyan. Edgar Harapetyan is playing Sergei Korshunov. So let's start with this game. Yes, this is Taimanov, bishop e3, a6, queen f3, and knight e5 by Babujan, queen g5. Yes, here some different moves are possible. Knight f6, for example. And we just seen that Jordan took on c6, and after b takes c, he played queen f3. And after knight f6, he played queen g3. So queen f3 directly, knight e5, queen g3. Knight f6 is possible move. Yes, I remember h5 is also possible, but maybe it's not really. I guess h5 is possible here. So this knight f6, f4, knight g4. Here, for example, e5 was possible, knight e3, queen e3, knight g4, or bishop g1 as Manuel Petrosian played. So e5, f takes c, queen e5, knight e5. White is better. Long castle, bishop takes c3, b takes c, and black does not have knight e4 ideas because g4 is hanging. So h5 was played. Already white is threatening to take. Black is threatening to take on e4. So e5, queen e4, e5, knight e4. Sorry, bishop d3 was played. Yes, the only move to secure some advantage. Queen takes c3, knight b3. Yes, and according to engines, white is being much better, close to winning. Like e5 or bishop d4, and white is much better. It's almost close to winning. Let's see what are we having here. Hovik Harapetyan is playing Embranesh, so d4, d5, c4, e6, knight c3, knight f6, knight f3. Yes, c takes d is another option. Slav, e3, knight bd7, bishop d3. Yes, here another option is being queen c2. I apologize, queen c2. So bishop d3, d takes c, bishop c4, b5, bishop d3, bishop b7 was played. Black does have also b4 and bishop d6 moves. Yes, e4, b4, knight a4, c5, e5, knight d5, short castle. Recently, if I'm not mistaken, Hovik Harapetyan played this line against Ivan Zemlyansky, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, c takes d, rook e1, g6 was the old theory, and rook c8 was played. Queen e2. Here, taking on c5 would have been the strongest. Queen e2, and here c takes d, bishop e7, and Hovik does not take on c5. And short castle, knight takes c5. Yes, here Pranesh M is deciding between knight takes c5, d takes c, and bishop takes c5. Yes, I think it is very logical for Pranesh M to go knight c5, d takes c, and take with the rook. Yes, let's see what are we having here. Vaya Danielian, who won his game yesterday against whom did he beat yesterday? Eric Hakopian. Yes, some London. Queen b6 without developing the knight. G8 knight, black does go for queen b6 ideas. And here knight bd2 or c4, knight c3, which is also possible whenever queen b2, I guess knight b5 is there. So bishop d7, stopping all kind of knight b5 ideas, rook b1, knight f6, bishop e2, bishop e7 also was possible. Yes, computer likes more going a6, queen c7. Wow, wow, very classy idea by Emin Ohanian. Bishop e3, King e8, short castle, rook d8. Wow. Yes, around equal position. Yes, computer likes more black. But will Emin Ohanyan see h5 or h6 ideas? I'm not sure. Yes, let's see what are we having here. Why Sukiasian is playing Arsene Davtyan, e45. Arsene goes and chooses Rui Lopez and d3, not going rook e1. Yes, let's not forget that Why Sukiasian lost only one game against Arthur Davtyan, but he was completely winning. Yes, a4, bishop d7, h3. Short castle, bishop e3. Yes, knight a5, bishop a2, b takes a. So h6 was played by Arsene Davtyan. Knight c3, knight a5, bishop a2, c5, a takes, knight a5, bishop e6. Knight c6 would have been maybe slightly precise. Yes, interesting move order. Yes, usually here I go c3, so h3 and bishop e3. Yes, maybe knight a5 and taking on a4 would have been stronger, but probably Arsene knows. Yes, and before. Yes. White is slightly better. Let's see what are we having here. Wow, I like what one Albanjan is doing. Yes, here c6 would have been stronger, so he takes. Yes, c6 is another option. It takes c, bishop c4, knight d7, short castle, and here c5 would have been stronger, but he goes e5. Yes, so far he played good. He could have done c5 instead of e5, but still it's a fight. So let's see what are we having in Eric Chakurian's Zaven Andresian game. d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, d6, knight e2, short castle, knight g3, h5, bishop e2, a5, e5, knight a6, knight is coming to c5, knight c5, queen c2, now e4 pawn is protected, knight f1, and here Zaven had this tactical idea of knight e4, but what is happening? Why knight e4 takes, bishop f5, queen f3, e4, and then maybe engine wants to make a draw, like queen f4, bishop e5, queen g5, bishop f6, queen h6, bishop g7. Of course, as a rating favorite and overall more experienced, Zaven does not look ways from the opening to force a draw. He wants to win, and he goes knight h7 and goes f5. Very logical way to continue, going f5, creating tension in the center, but so far position remains unpleasant for black. And what are we having in this game? David Shahinyan is facing Alberto Atoyan, so Petrov, bishop f4. Another option is bishop e3 to play. Yes, Alberto Atoyan goes for knight d7, knight f6, as this was played by Fabiano Caruana in his World Championship match against Magnus Carlsen. but if I'm not mistaken, white was developing bishop on e3 in that match. So bishop d3, bishop e6, king b1, c5, and yes, now white is definitely in huge trouble, obviously, because usually white is having bishop on e3 and it changes a lot. Yes, Davichanian got a much better position, no doubts. And here Edgar Herapetyan is playing Sergei Karshunov. Edgar Herapetyan is rating favorite. Yes, so far I like what players are doing. Yes, rook c1 is another option. Yes, short castle was played. Maybe b3, stopping c4. Yes, good prep by... let's also switch the engines and try to figure out what's happening. So we are aware that white is doing much better here. The problem is being that h3 is coming, you know. h3, and if knight goes back, then g7 is hanging. And you should go h4, and after queen move like f3, knight goes back to h6. You are in huge trouble. So queen b4, or maybe queen c6 or queen c7. Yes, we can definitely say that Manuel Petrosyan got a huge advantage out of the opening against Levon Babujian. Let's say that Levon Babujian is a grandmaster. Yes, last few years he dropped his rating a lot, but he always been 20